Greetings all, Joel here with a brand new album rankings episode. Feel free to leave a comment, share this video, as well as all my others on my playlist on this channel. Smash the like button, subscribe to my channel, and click on the notification bell whenever a new video comes out. This week, I ranked the studio discography of Megadeth. Founded in 1983 by Dave Mustaine after his termination from Metallica. Megadeth, along with Metallica, Slayer, and Anthrax, are the first wave of thrash metal bands coming out of the Southern California area, although Anthrax is originally from New York. As of this recording, Megadeth has unleashed 16 studio albums, and the Mustaine-led band is currently working on their 17th. Let's get started with the rankings, shall we? From worst to best. Number 16, Risk, 1999. This is their worst outing from the 1990s, despite Crush 'Em being the standout track. Fans started to turn on Megadeth by breaking through alternative rock and abandoning their thrash metal roots, which they were known for since the beginning. This would be the last record from Marty Friedman, and the first of two featuring Jimmy DeGrasso. Number 15, Super Collider 2013. This had to be one of the most disappointing Megadeth records within the last 10-15 years. This got mixed to negative reviews, but in my defense of this record, they had some good tunes, such as the title track, Kingmaker, Dance in the Rain, featuring additional vocals from Disturbed's David Draymond, and their cover of Thin Lizzy's Cold Sweat. Despite peaking at number 6 on the Billboard 200, it fared very well in countries like Canada, Finland, and Norway, even making it to the top 15 on the Swedish charts. Number 14, The World Needs a Hero, 2001. This was where Megadeth hit rock bottom. After the failed Risk album, Dave Mustaine and company transformed back to a heavier style, going back to their thrash roots while retaining some commercial feel from their previous work. Songs like Moto Psycho, Disconnect, and Dread and the Fugitive Mind were the strongest tracks on the record. It also included the sequel to Hangar 18 called Return to Hangar, which I loved. Sadly, this would be David Ellefson's last Megadeth record until 2011's 13, and the only Megadeth record to feature Al Batrelli, best known for his time with Alice Cooper, Sabotage, and Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Number 13, The System Has Failed, 2004. 2 years prior to this album coming out, there was a story about Dave Mustaine breaking up the band due to a serious arm injury he suffered. However, it was initially going to be a solo outing for Mustaine, but then decided to reform Megadeth, and we got a decent album in this one. Die Dead Enough, Back in the Day, Of Mice and Men, and A Scorpion are the strongest songs off The System Has Failed. Number 12, So Far So Good, So What, 1988. This one was received well by critics, but in retrospect, the analysts were less favorable. It's the only album to feature guitarist Jeff Young and drummer Chuck Baylor, who were fired by 1989. To be honest, I would have ranked this one higher if critics didn't ignore it so much. When you got tracks like Hook and Mouth, Set the World Afire, Mary Jane, and the strongest track on this album, In My Darkest Hour, which was Dave Mustaine's tribute to his friend Cliff Burton, who died in a tragic bus accident while Metallica was on a European tour in September of 1986. Number 11, Cryptic Writings, 1997. The more Megadeth went into that commercial sound, the more their loyal fan base had turned on them, which was the exact turning point of where they were heading at that time. Despite reaching number 10 on US soil and going gold, not only stateside but in countries like Japan, South Korea, Canada, and Argentina. In all honesty, not every track on this record made me want to bang my head, too. But I thought songs like Almost Honest and Use the Man were a little weak. But the strongest songs from this one are A Secret Place, the Grammy-nominated Trust, which was a big hit on Billboard's mainstream rock tracks, and She-Wolf. This would be Nick Menza's last record with Megadeth as their drummer. Number 10, 13, 2011. The first time since The World Needs a Hero, David Ellefson returns to Megadeth. And around that time, Chris Broderick and Sean Drover, guitarist and drummer respectively, were a part of the Megadeth machine, and put out another good album. reaching number 8 on the Billboard 200, and coming up with killer cuts like Public Enemy number 1 and Sudden Death, along with underrated gems like Whose Life Is It Anyways, and a song that the classic lineup had composed together in New World Order. Having Ellefson back in Megadeth during that time frame sure was helpful to Mustaine. Number 9, Endgame 2009. The first to feature guitarist Chris Broderick after Glenn Drover's departure, and the last for bassist James Lomenzo until 2022's The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead. Because months after this release, David Ellefson would have joined Megadeth. Anyway, I like the songs Head Crusher, Right to Go Insane. Endgame became their most reliable and proficient record since Rust in Peace. I thought the song Hardest Part of Letting Go, Sealed with a Kiss, it's one of those Megadeth songs I never expected. It was because it was almost ballad-like. Number 8, Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good, 1985. The debut studio album from Megadeth, and Dave Mustaine had a point to prove, because in this album he was still pissed off about his firing from Metallica, that he started Megadeth to bring them down, with songs like The Mechanics, Last Rites, Rattlehead, The Skull Beneath the Skin, and the killer title track. This entire album screams, "Fuck Metallica," which was Dave Mustaine's mindset at that time. Number 7, The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead, 2022. Megadeth's most recent studio effort. The reason why I rank this one so high is mainly due to the music videos that I've seen on YouTube that add chapters to them. Each video tells the story of the band's mascot, Vic Rattlehead. Songs like We'll Be Back, Life in Hell, the title track, Soldier On, and Night Stalkers featuring Ice-T. The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead reached number 3 on Billboard 200 and in the UK, while it reached number 2 in countries like Australia, Switzerland, Scotland, and Poland. It would reach number 1 in Finland, making it the highest charting record for Megadeth around the world. Number 6, United Abominations, 2007. Megadeth returned to form on this record. After peaking at number 8 on the Billboard 200, this one had a reworked track called A Tout Le Monde, which was retitled A Tout Le Monde Set Me Free, featuring Lacuna Coil's Christina Scavia. In a 2007 Burn magazine poll, United Abominations was voted Best Album Cover, while the song Washington Is Next was voted Best Song. There is also Gears of War and Never Walk Alone, A Call to Arms. Those tracks are the strongest on Megadeth's 11th studio effort. Number 5, Dystopia 2016. In my opinion, their strongest work since Countdown to Extinction. Dystopia was unleashed in January of 2016, and around that time, this record deserved to be in the top 10 Megadeth albums of all time list, after debuting at number 3 on the Billboard 200, and the title track earned them a Grammy Award, finally, after 11 unsuccessful attempts. Other than the title track, Fatal Illusion, The Threat Is Real, Post-American World, and my personal favorite off this album, Death From Within, are the strongest songs off Dystopia. Number 4, Euthanasia, 1994. The follow-up to Countdown to Extinction. Euthanasia was an album review I'd done last month. This was another platinum-selling record reaching number 4 on the Billboard 200, thanks to the original version of A Tout Le Monde and tracks like Reckoning Day, Train of Consequences, and Addicted to Chaos, which was my favorite off the record. This was peak classic Megadeth lineup here. Number 3, Peace Sells But Who's Buying, 1986. A thrash metal classic in the same caliber as Metallica's Master of Puppets and Slayer's Rain in Blood. Peace Sells is Megadeth's second effort, and it picks up right where Killing Is My Business left off. And it's ranked higher due to the fact that it's a milestone of a record of the thrash metal movement, thanks in large part to Peace Sells, Wake Up Dead, and my personal favorite in Devil's Island. Not to mention the two-piece track called Good Morning Black Friday, which is a criminally underrated Megadeth track. Number 2, Rust in Peace, 1990. The first Megadeth release featuring the classic lineup of Mustaine, Ellefson, Marty Friedman, and Nick Menza. I admire the lyrical themes on this record, dealing with religion, politics, Mustaine's personal issues such as his fight against drug and alcohol addiction and UFO conspiracy theories. Rest in Peace is highly regarded as genre-defining work. Songs like Holy Wars, The Punishment Due, Hangar 18, Take No Prisoners, and Tornado of Souls made Rust in Peace a top heavy metal album on anybody's list and got a ton of accolades for it as well. Number 1, Countdown to Extinction, 1992. Megadeth's most commercially successful album, reaching number 2 on the Billboard 200 and gone double platinum. It features the band's best known tracks, Skin of My Teeth, Symphony of Destruction, Foreclosure of a Dream, and Sweating Bullets. You know, a while back I ranked the 10 best albums of 1992, and this was ranked number 1 on that list. So if you haven't watched that video, it's in the rankings playlist. Again, like Euthanasia, this was peak Megadeth classic lineup at its best. Here's a quick recap of the Megadeth discography from worst to best. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I know a lot of you will disagree with this rankings list, and that's fine. We can all agree that Risk was the worst Megadeth album ever made. And the top 5 that are the best, like Dystopia, Euthanasia, Peace Sells, Rest in Peace, and Countdown to Extinction, are what I consider the best 5 Megadeth albums in their 42-year history.